Welcome to today's collective reading. This is TrinityGaiaOracle. Let's see what the collectives, spirit team, divine would like to come through for you today. You're at a turning point. It may not be something that is externally visible to many outside of you, but you are aware that it is momentous, that it is a pivotal moment in your life, a new chapter that you choose to consciously write, co-create your story with the divine, reacting or being triggered or whatnot with fear being the primary emotional experience that drives the story that you write. I've encountered it many times in different areas at different times where it is described that this life, this 3D experience, is a vacation for our souls. Yes, there's learning, but it's vacation. So when you go on vacation, however you prefer that experience, do you rush through it? Do you want it to be over with as soon as you get there, as soon as you begin it? Or do you want to savor every moment and feel rejuvenated? Be reminded that you're alive, that you get to live life instead of, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, come home, rinse, repeat. That you get some quality living in there. In this life, you have been experiencing a lot of this pressure because it's been needed to unlock you for you. And you have been willing to do this. You have made every decision that has brought you to this point to unlock all of who you are and to begin to continue to learn more and more of yourself. Because really, your greatest love in your life is the unfolding of you, the story of you. And all the experiences of love that you experience in your life, the greatest love story in your life is your story. So all of these decisions that have brought you to this moment have brought you to a space where, as that diamond, you're responding, you're not reacting anymore. Yes, you may be, this is how I feel. I'm confused. I don't have enough information. It's making me feel this way. I really don't like it. But you're not locking in the decision on the story being X, Y, or Z. You're not passing judgment on it. From just that experience in that space, you're allowing more information to come in. You're reserving that judgment. You're giving your spirit team, your higher self, your future self, a chance to really get all of the information you need to know that whatever decision you make is right for you, because it is one that leads you to joy, to happiness, that brings you closer to a sense of freedom, because you know that that higher being, that your spirit team, that they're handling all of the things that need to come into alignment perfectly, because there's many different people and situations that need to click in for it to actually be time for you to walk through this portal. And this portal is now for you. It's very clear that quite a few of you have already been receiving some synchronicities, be it dreams, signs that you receive throughout the day that you notice, numbers, maybe a bird or a feather or an animal, which I will be grabbing some power animal cards here as well, especially since that just came through. This is one more synchronicity for you. This is a voice telling you, yes, it is divine timing. It's not a psych, haha. It's legitimate. It's here. Are you going to write that into your story? Because there's the synchronicities are going to keep coming until you own it, because you're loved, you're valued, you're one heck of a spiritual warrior to have gotten to this point. You keep choosing the path that leads you here to greater self-knowledge, to freedom, knowing that you deserve to have all the comfort in your life that you long for, that you want. Not because necessarily you've done the warrior work and thus you're worthy. I mean, yes, there is that. You've accrued a lot of really good karma. But because you acknowledge and you own that you love yourself and the divine within you, you are worthy of being happy. You've earned it. You're worthy of those comforts, of having the routines and knowing that the world, you're not alone in it. You're not alone in navigating what you do not see. You have allies that are supporting you so that you can focus on being present here in this physical reality, being a unique soul that is chosen to be awake and aware and connected to other aspects of yourself that are beyond the visible, so that you can create positive change in your world and your environment, and know that that has a ripple effect. One thing that I have heard consistently is that the universe, the divine, desires balance. If you're willing, which you are if you're here, if you're willing to create balance, the universe, the divine, will help you do that. There is a mirroring aspect within you. You have come into a balance with your assertive and receptive energies within yourself. Your inner feminine and masculine always begin within you. This is something that has been highlighted, and it is key. And you have recognized that when you work on you, the world evolves with you. The world, everyone you encounter, every situation, it evolves because you are viewing all of it through a completely different lens. You have the opportunity right now to own that if you choose to release a false story that you encounter while happening into a synchronicity, and like this just really negative possible story comes up, that you could just know that that's not your truth. That's not love. That's not light. That's not joy. That's not going to lead you anywhere you want to be. And you know that. That you have unlocked that awareness within you because of that balance. You've worked hard for to transform that action. By work, it is action. Sometimes it's action to even, like, it's assertive to choose to be receptive. It can never are they not in a dance within you. They're always dancing within you. They are always balancing and interacting. And this happens without you as well, or outside of you as well. That when you choose to not empower that negative story, and you just take a deep breath in and you inhale all the goodness that you desire and you know to be true, that you're moving towards, that you're creating, the story you are writing with the divine within you, co-creating. And you can exhale all of that fear and all of the emotions and insecurities and thoughts and false memories and dreams, whatever these things may be for you. You can exhale them and visualize them being apart, separate from you, like in a balloon, like a helium balloon, filled. And as you tie it off on that end of the exhale, it's separate and it starts to float away, and it goes towards the sun, towards the divine, because the divine has that. Your spirit team has that. They want to help you. They want to support you. They want nothing more than for you to allow them to be of more use to allow you to be more focused here in the now, to fully enjoy every moment here, because there is so much richness in this transition, in this portal, in this walking through the doorway into this new chapter, this new life, this new experience of you, so empowered because you know you're enough. And now it's going to begin to be reaffirmed consistently back to you that you are enough. You have intentions right now at this point. You're being asked to be very detailed with those intentions. It's kind of like there's a sense too of like it being tied with a bow right over your heart, that middle point of the bridge, the trunk of the tree. As above, so below. Your heart is the trunk. Your heart chakra, your love language. Your love is a gift right now. That bridge, that middle point, it is something that you get to experience. All the love that you desire. Because the more that you know a love, the more that the tree branches, the above, and the roots, that of the below, get to live in more love. They get to learn and experience more, because you know when you shift, the world shifts with you. That is why. That is why. There's also a synchronicity here with angels, ascended beings, flight, birds. Definitely going to be pulling some power animals here. There's definitely that. And your crown chakra, you are so tapped in with that. If you're not necessarily consciously yet getting all the details, it may be like big picture, not finer details yet, you are someone who continually refines and refines and refines, and you update and you update and you learn and you evolve. Those details will begin to become more and more clear to you as you begin to accept that it is divine timing for you to know that that chapter is closed, because everything is ready for you to be in this chapter now. And the greatest experience is you are your greatest love story. You. The greatest love story of your life is the unfolding of you. With the intentions, it's very clear that you desire to feel free. Between the angel wings and the birds and the feathers and flight, just freedom. Freedom to embrace that inner child, that fun, that magic, that wonder, that fully present in the now, because you're at play. But you're at play with writing the story of your life, of writing where you're going and who you're going to be and who's going to be there. And you know that that means that there are aspects of you from your past that don't get to come with you. And by that, there are parts of you that you have healed, that you've transmuted, that no longer are in that state anymore. It's not a I'm abandoning parts of me or having an ego death. Okay, your ego is not sitting on your throne anymore. You consciously are sitting on that throne. Your ego, you've taken the time to heal. And your ego is now your ally, along with your inner child. Those two, they know your subconscious very well, and they help you navigate it. They help you understand. Just as within my coursework on Insight Timer, the link is above on the channel page and under the About. It's the kingdom, and they are parts of you, aspects of you. They help you to understand more of you, like they're liaisons. They're not separate from you, they are you. And you've owned that. You've had rituals, things that you've consistently done. You've been working on the mindfulness aspect. You have been so curious and attentive to everything that your inner world is bringing to you, so that you knew when a fearful story, a negative narrative would come through, that it wasn't coming from you, that it was someone else that planted that within you, whether it was when you were a kid or a teenager or a young adult, or more recently, you knew that that was not something that was created from within you, because you are so familiar to yourself. And this portal that you're walking through, because you've done that work, you're getting to unlock awareness of future you, higher you. This is knowledge, familiarity, abilities that are aspects of you you haven't accessed before. They're complete mysteries. It's getting that gift box and it's question mark, wrapping paper on it. I don't know, I wonder what's inside. And this is going to be a consistent experience of positive surprises. Even if there's challenges mixed in with these positive surprises, it's part of being human. Even those challenges can be your greatest gifts. For example, you have a little kid who is in that weird, like, awkward spot where they're like too little to like necessarily handle the gallon of water or milk without spilling it, yet they're on that cusp of being strong enough to be able to, in that moment where you choose to allow them to do it. And it's not like you're allowing them and watching them, expecting them to fail. No, you're like, yeah, let's do this. We're making cookies. Let's do this. You got it. I trust you. See, you did it. All right. And then it's just fun from there. That simple moment where you believed in them, you didn't second guess them, and they were able to be at play with you as an adult. And they weren't seen as needing to be excluded. Like being the last kid picked for the baseball team, but your own like family. And it's just because you were too little for quite some time and you just became big enough to be able to be a part of it. So it was never like a cruel thing, like the baseball thing. That might be a little cruel, but for you as the parent, that moment, they'll remember it. They'll remember it because you're aware of all the pressures that turned you into a diamond that you had to go through. They're going to have their own, and it's to allow them to unlock themselves. So there is a huge ripple effect when you do little things like that. Huge. It gains momentum. The challenging part of this is that you're moving into what you do not know. Even though you know it's a gift and it's going to be good and you're going to love it and you're going to enjoy it because you know that you've been co-creating it. And you know that it's a surprise because the divine wants to show you that every decision you made to get here is valued. That you're loved just as much as you have shown love through all of the faith that you have demonstrated in that higher power, that higher intelligence, the universe. That you have continually trusted this force to not let you fall. You have leapt, you have been that fool, and the net appeared. Not always where you expected it to, but the net was there. And you continue to do this. So the divine at this point, those surprises are, I love you too. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for having faith. You are grateful for my presence in your life. This is my opportunity to show you that I am grateful for that love, that bravery, that courage, that heart that you have. That no matter what happened to you, you always chose to keep your heart open and to trust that it would work out even if you didn't understand. That is what this is. And you're going to be a bit in both worlds. And you maybe don't necessarily know all the finer details. But as you begin to get really practiced at this experience of being able to be like, yeah, well, that's one negative story that came out because of X, Y, or Z, synchronicity, and I'm not empowering it. I'm not passing judgment and deciding it's that. I'm going to let my spirit team and my divine bring in more information until I feel that I'm good with the way that we're going to write this story. Because you're working with a higher power now. The fear, those stories, those are lower vibrations. You're a diamond. You don't have to co-create with coal. You can co-create with other diamond energies and higher beings, higher energies. I did have a clairaudient come through. Yeah, clairaudient. Yeah, these are gifts coming in and being able to hear guidance in your mind, or from the divine, or from other people. There's a synchronicity here with soulmates. Now this is soulmates like soul tribe, people that you're going to be encountering that are soulmates, that are meant to work with you as you move through this portal, as you co-create that pivot moment where it's like, I'm done with the chapter of being coal. I am on to being the diamond that works with, that chooses to only work with higher energies, that match my frequency or are higher, of the balanced path. There definitely is going to be a romantic aspect to this at some point, if you're not already experiencing it. Because love, love, your heart chakra, love, you are the greatest love story of your life. You're going to have that romantic aspect, but know that that particular soulmate you will encounter when it is right for both of you to encounter one another, so that it gels, it works. Like, I'm hearing gelling like a felon, or, you know, like there's some commercial that might be a synchronicity for somebody. So when you have reached that point where everything's in place, maybe they still have a couple things around them that need to kind of shift and kind of settle a little bit, and then they're going to be at that point where they're ready to encounter you. And like, they're having a soulmate like that come into your life, it's intense. And because it's so intense, especially for those tuning in here, you're dealing with someone who's just as connected, aware, tapped in, gifted as you. And they're gifted in such a complementary way to you, and vice versa, that the two of you together are stronger than you are apart. And if anything were to be rushed and not be quite right, it would be like you would just kind of glance and brush off each other. It wouldn't necessarily gel, it wouldn't stick. So this divine timing is so that when you do encounter, it locks. Everything feels right. Locks as in, this is exactly where I want to be. There's so many things about this that tell me this is right. When that happens, sometimes, like, this could be a coming again thing as well for some individuals here. And it's not uncommon for that first brush with a soulmate of that level to be really intimidating and scary, especially if one of you wasn't really awoken when you encountered one another, or you both kind of were, but still you were not necessarily believing that magic was still real, that someone like this existed out there, that it wasn't just a fantasy or a fairy tale. They're real. Look at that, there's the unicorn, you know, that kind of a thing, that you would have some more healing to do before you could come back and really gel. Because whether or not, you know, you feel or they felt when you first encountered each other, for those that this is a coming again, a returning, meeting someone like that, it would challenge and or reinforce any feelings of insecurity. So those things have had a chance to heal in this time apart. For the really, really, I get specific, this is just for a couple of people that are watching this. Your soul is so old and wise, and they're the perfect complement to you. Now, I don't know what culture you were raised in your family unit, or, you know, the area that you live in and what the culture is in your immediate town, or nationality, but you know the challenges that they probably have to overcome because you're observing what it is to possibly be in their position from the outside, looking in. And they do that with you too. All of these challenges, these needs to heal these things, to fully awaken, fully unlock yourselves, to fully be gelled with one another. Like, this is it. I am hiding nothing. I am completely, like, all of me is there. That level of intimacy from such an old soul that you know you are, there's a lot of healing that had to be done, a lot of triggering in order to open the wound so that the infection could get out and the healing could actually occur. Know that this individual, this person, loves you an incredible amount, but they know that they must love themselves in order to be able to give you love. So when you encounter them, if you haven't already, that is what this has been about. If you haven't fully locked yet, is it time? Is it time? Is it time? Have they learned? Have they learned? Have they unlocked it? I don't want to rush it. If I go too soon, then if I don't, then, you know, like, there's so much anxiety for the side that is so very, very aware of this, that if they get the timing wrong, they feel that the whole thing will come falling down. This is a fear that they're holding on to. Know this, as you work through your negative, fear-based stories, that weight begins to lift off of them as well. And they can see that in your energy and how you move, the words you choose, the state of being that you're in when you do interact with them, however that may be it in person, be it in your dream space, be it astral projection, be it online or in person, however it may be. When you heal, they heal. When they heal, you heal. There's no question that you two are circling each other. And everything that may seem like a rejection is actually them really wanting it to work. It's not a rejection. It's, we need a gel. I want this to be solid. You know, like, there's so much love there. So if you're questioning whether or not they see you as enough, and that's more from like the 3D, like, you actually live this life. And this is more for just everybody who's encountering a soulmate. This resonates for you guys as well. You're enough because they're making the effort to make sure that things are going to go as smoothly as possible, that no one goes in too fast, and, you know, kind of, they're showing a lot of respect for what's between the two of you. So those stories that you tell yourself about, you know, things not necessarily about them, just about where you're at, as you work through and release those fears and separate yourself from them, like, literally exhale the ugh in while you and inhale the positive, and just let the divine handle, let your spirit team handle the ugh, because you're surrendering it. There's no more connection. Like, it's already in their hands. The moment you are like, that is separate, it's good, it's done. They're able to do that too. And this ripple effect isn't just with this soulmate or these soulmates that you're going to be working with as you move through this portal to maybe even encounter this romantic soulmate. You're going to have a lot of soulmates that come to you. People that are like, all right, I have a piece of you that we had a contract with before we incarnated in my backpack. This is a metaphor that I've encountered before, and it really resonates. And you have a piece of them in your backpack, and you exchange that. That interaction could be a really, really in-depth personal conversation, and then you never see each other ever again. It could be far more a daily thing where you literally are like, you own a business together, or maybe you're mentoring a child, or, you know, whatever it may be for you. You're going to be encountering a lot of other people that help you to understand that you're not so alone. There's a sense of loneliness and that being lifted. Loneliness as in, you may be in solitude, you may be alone, but you don't feel lonely. Like, you know you're your own best company. You know that you're the greatest love story of your life, that you're your own best friend. But we are social beings. We are social creatures. We are mammals. We are happier and healthier when we have a strong community that we are connected to. And that is something that's coming into place for you. And it's going to be with people that you don't have to hide yourself from. You can choose what to reveal, but you're like, okay, so you can understand. Oh, that's cool. You don't have that thing like, if I showed you who I really was or what was really happening and I told you, you'd reject me, or you would condemn me, or you would ostracize me. You wouldn't have that being an element in your communication in your community. You would feel supported, even if you weren't incredibly bare with everything going on within you. Boundaries have been something that you have gained an appreciation of because of how they allow you to protect your peace and others. Because if you're at peace, they're more at peace. So where are those boundaries? I did have the synchronicity. Thank you, Spirit, for having that come through again. There was a synchronicity. You don't have to people please. You know that. Especially in these environments. It may be a little interesting at first, where you're going to have those old tapes come up to the surface, and you're going to be like, I don't really want to do this again. And they're like, yeah, no, you don't have to. Like, we're cool. You know, we've been here, we've done this, you know, it's whatever. Like, these are people that are going to be able to allow you to feel heard and seen, even if you're quiet and you just observe. They know that you're very present, even if you're not loud. You're invited to go with the flow during this discovery period, as you choose to reorient from fear to a positive outlook, knowing that your ripple effect out from you of doing this healing and unlocking this pathway. You did this alone. You did this alone. And I don't mean like you didn't have you had your spirit team, you had the divine. What I mean is you didn't have another person that you could sit and talk to about it. You didn't have a sounding board. You went all within you. And that takes tremendous strength and courage and will and grounding in what love is. It's little things. The little things that kept you going, and knowing that if you overcome, because somebody else told you their story at some point, someone inspired you, because they overcame, you knew you could. So you're carrying that torch forward to the next generation, and you have people that will follow you, that will have an easier time getting through their own challenges, because they will know that you did it. You did it, so they can. So you're the way shower in that. I also have a very strong feminine, like Empress, Queen vibe here, where you're abundant. You're abundant in like
honeybee, like pollinating the crop. like you are the queen bee. And you're cunning. You are definitely cunning. Like, not everything is as it seems with you, which is part of why you're the queen, because they may, like these lower energies, they may have thought you were X, Y, or Z. I had this come through a couple of times, actually, before the recording, over the last few days, where it was like, if you're not familiar with Pokemon, which I'm not honestly very familiar with Pokemon, I don't know it really in depth, so either way, it's like Pikachu. I don't know about you guys, but Pikachu looks cute. He looks cuddly, he looks sweet, he looks adorable, like you just want to cuddle with him, and I don't know, like have him curl up on your lap and take a nap. Like, he just looks so cute. But if you get in a fight with Pikachu, ooh. My understanding is it ain't gonna go well for you if you decide to get in a fight with Pikachu. Pikachu will own that. Nothing flies, right? So that is definitely something that just came through there, where you appear to be one thing, but if this energy crosses a specific boundary, then they get to see like your other side. They get to see like that inner lion that comes out of your kitten, right? The hunter side, where the eyes dilate and they focus in, and like their whole being is like stealthy. They get to see that side, where you're like, you know what? You think you got this. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do my own thing, but you're not aware of it. And when the timing is right, this is where like your higher self comes in, with that divine aspect within you. That has happened. You now get to openly be acknowledged for who you actually are. This experience of needing to be the version of you like Pikachu in a fight. This individual, this dynamic, these energies, however they may present in your life, they were a challenge that was there that inspired you to overcome. If you didn't have the challenge, would you have had the need to overcome and thus become aware that you were capable of doing so? Those that we cast in the villain role, those that are cast in the villain role in our story, they're teachers. There's a Buddhist teaching too about sitting down with your fear, sitting down with your, and every day having tea with your fear. The concept of to know your enemy is a wise thing. So there's this balancing of seeking truth and being willing to assert that boundary and cut those ties, while also being able to be receptive to the love, the light, the possible learning, and that exchange that could happen between you and whatever situation. Doing both, not just one or the other, but both. Being balanced in both. And you are. That's why we're here. But you've accumulated pieces of yourself on your journey. Your journey is the labyrinth, and you went through this labyrinth and you unlocked pieces of yourself, and you've ascended above it because you are balanced. There's definitely 333 is a synchronicity here. 33, mastery. You have mastered this thief of peace. You have found the medicine within you and your ancestry, and power animal of raven and bear could be significant as well. Also, you are channeling information. You are transmuting energy through you. You're not just transmuting your life challenges. You're aiding those in your soul tribe, in the collective, those that you're going to be encountering as you move through this portal, this threshold. You're helping them to overcome so that they can be there with you to meet you. They may not be aware of it, and they may have been doing the very same thing for you, because we're all connected. This would be like for what the symbolism of the 144,000 represent, like no one left behind. Like we're all in it. No one left behind. So we all help one another. You have a lot of allies. Allies you may never meet. You may never get to know, but they're there. And you'll get to meet a lot of them.